guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to be talking about principles of Indian democracy. Democracy in India. Introduction. India's democratic journey is a tale of resilience, diversity and progress. From its independence in 1947 to the present day, India has navigated through challenges and triumphs to establish itself as the world's largest democracy. This presentation will delve into the key milestones and defining moments that have shaped India's democratic landscape. So, my friends, do you know that India is the largest democracy in the world? But it doesn't used to be so. At the olden days, the poor were not allowed to vote. And also, Mahatma Gandhi said in the Young General India, he wrote that the poor who sweats, work so hard for us is not allowed to vote, but a person who has money is allowed to vote. Why is this so? And since then, everybody is allowed to vote. And there is something kind of unique called universal adult franchise, which means every adult in the country will be allowed to vote. If I'm not wrong, India might have one of the most channels in the world, and they almost telecasts India's whole news. One of the news channels that I know are very famous are Aaj Tak Live, ABP News, and many more. My friends, do you know there used to be the law of untouchability in India, but Dr. Ambedkar banned that law. In that, the women were not allowed to vote, and there was racism and caste, and they were discriminated for their caste. It used to mostly come for people it used to mostly come for people who are poor, or they belonged to a caste which wasn't that much popular at those days. And even Dr. Ambedkar was in one of those castes. But and also he was discriminated a lot. But he was a person who wrote India's constitution and made India the largest democracy in the world. Do you know, it is also told that in the law of untouchability, the woman child used to get aborted. They were not given as much value and care as the boy child used to be given. And also, they were discriminated a lot. The government took strict actions for it. They banned abortion, and also they waived the fees of the government schools and the government colleges for the girls. Like this, now everybody in India is almost equal. Now let's go and delve into the key milestones and defining moments that have shaped India's democratic landscape. Independence era. The period following India's independence in 1947 marked the beginning of its democratic experiment. Led by visionaries such as Jawaharlal Nehru and Dr. Ambedkar, India embarked on a journey to establish a constitutional democracy that would ensure equality and justice for all its citizens. My friends, do you know that this speech is very unique for India because our first Prime Minister, Chacha Jawaharlal Nehru, over here gave the speech of India's independence. And also, there were millions of soldiers who died for the independence of India, and he spoke about them. And because of that, this speech is very unique. It was held in India's capital, New Delhi, in Red Fort, in which many soldiers and many people listened to Chacha Jawaharlal Nehru's speech. India embarked on a journey to establish the constitutional democracy that would ensure equality and justice for all its citizens. In India, there is so much competition. There's an electoral competition in democracy, and also there are many parties who are trying to become or rule the state or the government. In India, there are three different types. First one is state government, union government, and local government. Local government comes at the lowest level, in which the government party can rule only a type of a city, or they can only rule a part of or they can only rule a part of a village. They can rule the whole village. And at the second highest comes state government, in which the government or the party can rule the whole state, and over there we can call them as CM, Chief Minister. And at the highest level, which is the Prime Minister, it is union government, in which the government party can rule the whole country. India's social culture. India's democratic journey has been riddled with challenges including caste-based discrimination. Now, my friends, as I had mentioned earlier, you must be remembering that Dr. Ambedkar was also discriminated for his caste. But the government comes and there are regional conflicts and economic disparities. However, the nation has made significant strides in promoting inclusivity and empowerment through affirmative action and social reforms. Now, my friends, 2 centuries ago, the Britishers had came to India and invaded us. They took all of our unique stuff. They took our gems, they took our gold, they took our pride, and they also took many of our valuable things. They abandoned our kings and queens. But, my friends, anybody can loot you, but your knowledge always stays with you. And also, like that, India's talent was still with them. And now, India has again climbed back to the top because the talent always remains. Anything can go, but the talent cannot. And that's the reason why talent always stays. So, no matter what, if you have talent inside yourself, you can never stay hungry. Now, my friends, as you can see, in the south, when we observe, The most popular dance over there is Bharatnatyam. And when we come near to West Bengal, this is Bay of Bengal, and over here we see the Bengal tiger. The Bengal tiger is a national, is also our national animal of India. Lotus is our national flower, and I have seen lotus on the BJP, which is Bharatiya Janata Party. I have seen it on their logo. This is Qutub Minar, which is in Delhi. Now over here, this is the Gate of India, which is also in Delhi. This is Agra, this is in Agra. This is Taj Mahal, which is also very known in India, and this is in Uttar Pradesh. This is cricket, which is the favorite sport of Indian people, and India has won 2 World Cups in it, 1983 and 2011, and they came twice in the finals, in 2003 against Australia and 2023 again against Australia. But sadly they lost. But still they played so good that they stole our hearts. Now over here we come to the Punjab side, and when we go at the top, this is J&K, Jammu and Kashmir and Leh Ladakh. This is our Prime Minister, the one and only Shri Narendra Modi. And this is again his party named BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. As I told you, the party has a lotus on its top. This is Rahul Gandhi, who is from Congress. This is Kejriwal. His full name is Arvind Kejriwal, who is from Aam Aadmi Party and is the CM of Delhi. But my friends, recently he is jailed because of some fraud, and also he did so many frauds in New Delhi. This is again Shri Narendra Modi. India's election dynamics. So my friends, I'm sure you must be knowing that India hosted the 2023 G20, and it is a proud fact to say that India now finally hosted the G20, and it was a moment of pride as all the 20 most powerful countries in the world met Shri Narendra Modi. India's vibrant electoral process is a cornerstone of its democracy. With over 800 million eligible voters, India conducts the world's largest democratic elections. So my friends, as I had mentioned earlier, India has so many parties and there is a lot of competition. You can just talk about India's elections as the game of snakes and ladders. As you can climb up very quickly and you can also come down very quickly. That is how India's election dynamics works. The electoral dynamics reflect the country's pluralistic society and the power of the people to shape the nation's future. Institutional evolution. The evolution of India's democratic institutions, including the judiciary, parliament, and the election commission, has played a pivotal role in upholding the principles of separation of powers and checks and balances. These institutions have been crucial in safeguarding the democratic fabric of the nation. Now, my friends, IIT, which is one of the most popular institutes in India, IIT, IIM, Aligarh Institute of Science and Technology. These are very famous in India. Now, my friends, do you know they didn't used to be so useful? India has been a country which has been very intelligent throughout its years. Aryabhatta was a person who is regarded as one of the greatest mathematicians in the world. He invented the concept of zero. My friends, do you know IIT, which means Indian Institute of Technology, is the best at producing engineers? And also, many companies like Google, they make the CEOs as IITians, like Sundar Pichai, who was graduated by IIT Kanpur. My friends, do you know that the evolution of India's democratic institutions, including the judiciary, parliament, and the election commission, has played a pivotal role in upholding the principles of separation of powers and checks and balances. These institutions have been crucial in safeguarding the democratic fabric of the nation. Do you know, at the olden days, IIT wasn't so popular and India wasn't the best at producing engineers. But now, India is the best at producing engineers. One of the world's best engineers, architects come from India. And also, do you know, at the start of the world, India was actually the best at architecture. You must have seen Taj Mahal without any shape or without any other process. How did they make such a beautiful monument? Ashok Stamb. And you can also say Qutub Minar, which is located in New Delhi. These were so difficult to make, but we still made these beautiful monuments. You must, you must have seen the temples in India. They look so unique, so beautiful. When you go to the Chennai and when you go to the south of India, you see very beautiful temples. And no doubt, for me, they are the most beautiful temples I have ever seen in the world. And that form of architect actually blows my mind. These institutions have been crucial in safeguarding the democratic fabric of the nation. Types of democracy observed in India: racial diversity, diversity in religion, diversity in social life, diversity in languages, geographical diversity. Racial diversity. India is a country that has been ruled by many dynasties in its era. Mughals, Turks, British have ruled over the country. Greeks, Roman, Aryans have lived in this country. These diversities have caused the shape of its history. India is a country that has been ruled by many. As you can see over here, this side, the north side, was mostly observed by the Aryans. The south side was mostly observed by Dravidians. This side, which was near the J&K, Jammu Kashmir, and near the Tibet area, it was done by Mongolid. This was Paleo-Mediterranean, Proto-Australodic, Nordics. And over here, which is the Gujarat side, was ruled by Dinark, Kaku, Kakuasyod. These diversities have shaped the course of its history. Diversity in religion. Many religions are seen in India. There is Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Buddhism. The most common religion observed in India is Hinduism. These religions enrich India's culture and society. That is the reason why India is the largest democracy in the world. As you can see over here, this is Jainism, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Sikhism, and Hinduism. These make up our whole India. Rights of citizens. In India, citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression, to vote, to express their opinion, to practice any religion or profession. They have right to equality, right to constitutional remedies, cultural and education rights. Everybody is allowed to have certain good education, right to freedom of religion, right against exploitation, right to freedom. Challenges of democracy in India. Perhaps the greatest challenge democracy faces in India is that it has failed to deliver the kind of sustained economic development enjoyed by neighbors like China over the last 4 decades. It has also failed to eliminate extreme poverty. Now, my friends, everybody has challenges. Democracy has brought poverty in India, but still they at least can live a better they can at least live a good life. It has also failed to eliminate extreme poverty. Educated elites in more globalized cities like Delhi and Mumbai live completely different lives from India's poorest citizens. Now Delhi and Mumbai are the global boost in India. Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Gurgaon, and many more. You can say also Ahmedabad. But if you talk about more cities, the poorest cities in India, they live different lives. In Mumbai also, if you see Mumbai and old Delhi, when you go further, a little bit further in Mumbai, you will see the small cottages. And there is poverty in India. The post-election verification of results, voting operation and election day, electoral campaign, voter registration, training and education, planning and implementation, legal framework. Now, my friends, India has a lot of competition. Just like I told you, it is a game of snakes and ladder. Parties can do anything just to win the election. A rule that was made by the previous leader can be changed by the another leader if he doesn't agree with it. These are the demerits of democracy observed in India. The end. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe for more informative videos. Thank you.